It was a quiet evening just outside Denver, Colorado, as the sun dipped behind the mountains, painting the sky gold and purple. The usual hum of traffic had faded, and the faint sound of children playing drifted from a nearby park. But on a dusty roadside, the scene was anything but peaceful. A young woman stood alone, clutching her backpack. This was Emily Parker, a 26-year-old tourist from Australia. She'd been living her dream for a month, traveling through the U.S. to see the Rockies up close. But today, her dream had turned into a bit of a nightmare. Her rental car had given up on a remote stretch of road, her phone battery was long dead, and she'd been walking for miles, searching for a gas station or just a friendly face. With every step, the light faded, and so did her hope. Her shoes were caked in dust, and her throat was parched. She finally slumped down by a wooden fence, tears welling up in her eyes. "Why now? Why here?" she whispered to the empty road. Just as despair set in, she heard the comforting creak of an old truck pulling up. A man in his early 50s stepped out. His hands looked like they'd seen years of hard work, but his face was kind. "You all right, miss?" he asked, his voice steady. Emily hesitated for a moment. "My car broke down about 5 miles back," she explained. "I've been trying to find help." The man offered a soft smile. "You're lucky. This road doesn't see much traffic at night." He introduced himself as Tom Jenkins, a local mechanic. "You can't stay out here alone. Hop in. We'll figure it out." She was wary a stranger, in the middle of nowhere, but something in his eyes told her it was okay. She nodded and climbed into the old blue truck. As they drove along the winding roads, Emily recounted her misadventure. Tom listened quietly, offering a reassuring nod now and then. Soon, they pulled up to a cozy-looking house with a wooden porch and flower pots lining the steps. "This is my home," he said simply. "You'll stay here tonight." "My wife would have a heart attack if I let a traveler sleep on the roadside." Before Emily could even think of protesting, the front door swung open. A warm voice called out, "Tom, you're late?" "Dinner's getting cold then?" She spotted Emily. The woman's face instantly broke into a wide smile. "Oh, we've got a guest," she exclaimed, rushing forward. "I'm Linda, dear. Come in, come in." The moment Emily stepped inside, she was enveloped by the smell of apple pie and fresh bread. The walls were a gallery of happy memories, photos of 2 kids, a wedding picture, a goofy family dog. It felt like a home from another world. Linda quickly brought her a blanket, a cup of warm tea, and a steaming plate of stew. Emily couldn't remember the last time she'd eaten a real meal. The kindness was overwhelming, and tears of gratitude started to fall. "You didn't have to do all this," she whispered. Linda just smiled. "Sweetheart, kindness doesn't need a reason." That night, Emily slept soundly in their guest room. As rain began to fall softly outside, she felt a sense of safety she hadn't felt in weeks. The next morning, she learned that Tom had already gone out to tow her car back to his shop. In the kitchen, Linda was humming while making pancakes, the sweet smell filling the air. A few hours later, Tom returned, wiping grease from his hands. "Got your car to the shop," he announced. "Needs a new alternator. It'll take a day or 2. Emily immediately offered to pay, but he just shook his head. "You're a guest. We'll figure it out." Over the next 2 days, Emily wasn't just a guest. She became part of the family. She helped Linda in the kitchen, played fetch with their golden retriever, and listened to Tom's stories about life in the mountains. One evening, their teenage son Ethan came home from college for a surprise visit. He was captivated by Emily's stories of surfing in Sydney and diving in the Great Barrier Reef. For the first time in months, Emily's laughter filled a room. Later that night, Ethan played the guitar while Linda and Tom swayed to an old country song. Sitting on the porch, looking up at the vast, starry sky, Emily whispered, "I'll never forget this." The next morning, the car was fixed. Emily packed her bag, a sense of sadness creeping in. When she came out to say her goodbyes, the whole family was there. Linda handed her a lunchbox wrapped in a towel. "It's just something for the road," she said with a hug. Tom gave her a firm, fatherly handshake. "Be safe, kiddo." But what happened next was the moment that would touch millions. Emily reached into her backpack and handed them a small note and a photo she had taken. Candid shot of the family laughing together on the porch. "I don't have much to give," she said, her voice soft, "but I'll share your kindness with the world." She drove off, waving until their small town disappeared in her rearview mirror. 2 weeks later, the Jenkins were having breakfast when Ethan rushed in, phone in hand. "Mom, Dad, you have to see this." On the screen was a video. It was Emily's story, a vlog she'd titled, "The Family That Took Me In When I Was Lost." The video showed everything: their home, their smiles, their kindness. It ended with Emily saying, "In a world where everyone's in a rush, this family reminded me that humanity still exists." The video exploded. In just 3 days, it had over 10 million views. Comments flooded in from every corner of the globe. Faith in humanity restored. "This is the America I want to believe in. This made me cry. Bless that family." News outlets picked up the story. Reporters arrived to interview Tom and Linda. Letters and postcards from strangers poured into their small workshop, all thanking them for their simple act of decency. Someone even started a fundraiser to support their garage. Tom just smiled his humble smile and said, "We didn't do anything special. We just helped someone who needed it." Months later, Emily returned to Colorado. This time, she wasn't lost. She brought her parents all the way from Australia to meet the Jenkins family. They spent the days laughing, cooking, and sharing stories late into the night. Before leaving, Emily gave Tom a framed quote that now hangs in his workshop. It reads, "You may forget the miles you've traveled, but you'll never forget the hands that helped you along the way." Years later, people still comment on Emily's video, sharing stories of how it inspired them to help a stranger, to offer a smile, to open their doors when the world feels cold. Because kindness, no matter how small, travels farther than any tourist ever could. Thank you so much for watching this story. If it touched your heart, please consider liking this video and subscribing for more content that celebrates the good in the world. See you next time.